This is one word, two syllables. Ridiculous, right?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Unfiltered Truth. I am your host, Phil Robinson. With me, as always, the immortal, the incomparable Phil Jones. Jones, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Oh, a little better than I was yesterday.
I mean, everybody should be happy. Everybody in Raider Nation should be happy right now. The Russian King is back. He comes back to hold his title for the 2023 season. He will run you over. He will stiff arm you. And he will send your soul to the gulag.
Just like
Josh Jacobs is back, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Jacobs, he's back. I mean, shit. I mean, let's be real here. We knew Jacobs was going to come back. We actually stated right after the second preseason he'd be coming back.
Stated long before that, to be honest with you. For anybody who would bother to listen, we've been telling you exactly how this was going to play out since they didn't make the deadline to extend his contract. You got an echo in the background.
What?
And so what ended up happening was actually they preceded my timeline. I figured that they would wait until the end of the third preseason game and then sign the contract, but they're in Dallas now. He signed his contract. I expect that he'll be at the game and and he'll be at practice on Tuesday, I believe, so that they will be able to take roughly about 2 weeks before the start of the season, get him some contact, make sure he's conditioned, and continue to implement the playbook that they're actually going to run now that they are no longer running joint practices. And without it being training camp, they don't have to show anything at practice.
So to give folks a clear understanding, this is not his franchise tag. This is a whole completely different contract. Something similar to what Saquon Barkley did. So this is 1 year, $12 million, but he will get hit with he will get bonus within the contract. So if he meets like certain incentives and whatnot, so him being the Russian champ again, it's more coming his way. Not just like just one and done with the 12, and then you also look at with how the salary cap is going to go for the Raiders going into the following season. There's more money that is going to be freed up. So that being said, this in a weird way, Phil, I'll put it like this. This is what folks wanted to happen back in 2018 with Mac. If he had just stayed on, let it ride, he would have got his money the following year. This situation, Josh Jacobs, he sat back. He let it. Ball was in his court because, in all honesty, he had the choice of whether or not to come back or, he's back now. He wouldn't have gotten fined. So it's a different matter, but I say
it's slightly different than Mac. They offered Mac the deal to make
yeah,
him the highest paid contract. He said it wasn't enough, or Joel Siegel, I believe, said it wasn't enough. With Jacobs, I believe it came down to a securities deal in terms of long term. But
it
regardless
was
of
about
that,
years.
yeah, it was about years, not money. But regardless of that, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that I didn't think that there was some gentleman's agreement that has been struck longer than just this year. And the reason why I say that is because we've had a look at their running back core without Josh Jacobs. And I don't care how cheap you want to be. You could want to be cheap, you could want to be franchise friendly, all that shit. But
Yeah,
the caliber of player at that position takes a significant drop off when you go from Josh Jacobs to the other gentlemen on this roster. And that's no disrespect to them. Josh Jacobs is just a cut above and clearly better. He is one of the top 5 running backs in this league. He's 25, which means he's only going to get better. He wasn't the bell cow back in college, which means that the wear and tear is not the same. And the training methods that he's undertaken in the last 2 years has taken him to that next step. And so I think that this is a very, very good deal, a good sign of things to come for the Raiders. And looking at the way the offensive line is blocking, looking at what they've added in terms of pass catchers, looking at the way the offense is running on time. Now we can say a lot of things about the quarterback, but looking at having the benefit of watching the last 2 preseason games versus what happened last year, we can see what happens when this offense is executing on time in rhythm.
yeah.
It makes all the difference in the world. And then you splash in on time, being on time with proper decisions, and it's almost unguardable. You can watch anybody who can execute it go straight down the field and score points and score a lot.
The one thing I will say about this running back room, Phil, they can all catch out the backfield. And I will say that their pass protection has gotten better. I will say that from Mr. White, he has gotten better than what we saw last year. So having him and Jacobs back there, and remember, if you know Josh McDaniels and how he'll run an offense, you'll see both of them in that backfield, bro. And some shit's gonna be very interesting. I'm just saying, bro. Oh,
No, I was looking to verify something.
because one thing I'm looking at. Oh, one thing I'm also looking at. You know they can put a second tag on them next year, but
Absolutely.
I highly doubt that's going to happen.
Now, I'm glad that you said that because we don't, as you spoke about the incentives in the contract, we don't know if there was a clause for it to not tag him a second time. Because if they're going to want him to sign one of those contracts with injury guarantees, he should have the freedom to ask not to be tagged a second time. And I think moving forward, one of the things that it used to be, no trade clauses used to be a big thing. For some of these different position groups, it's now going to be no tag clauses. And running backs would probably be the number one group. Well, they can't really have one because they when it comes to that, they'd be rookies.
Oh, damn. Side note, topic.
So,
Bob Barker just died.
damn, that sucks. Price is wrong, motherfucker.
Nick.
I'm sorry, that was
Yeah, that was too cool.
Great Bob Barker.
But oh shit. Anywho, now this is a major plus for that Raider offense. Not just for the offense, but as and leadership. A guy that's been very vocal the last 2 seasons. And then now you get him back. The energy he brings to this team is on a whole different level. You already got the energy that Max Crosby has on that defensive side of the ball with him, Marcus Peters, and I even say with Chandler Jones. But to have Adams and Jacobs with that energy that they bring, God, you know what's crazy? I don't think all these analysts and all of them saying that, we only see the Raiders doing 6.5 to 7 wins this year. I'm gonna be real.
Take that bet. Take it. Go put $100 on it at least. Take that bet.
I'm going to over.
Get it, go take it.
I'm going to over.
If you can get that line, go take it. And matter of fact, let me know if you're in Vegas. I might have $100 for you to put it on for me.
I'm gonna be real. I'm taking the over. I'm with. I mean, I was also listening to Rich Gannon during the week, and he's even stated he sees the Raiders being a 10 to 12 win team, and it's there. They have the pieces. Mm-hmm. They've been gelling together the way they have been working their rotation. And listening to what Champ Kelly and Dave Ziegler and Champ, well, it don't matter. Kelly and Ziegler, listening to them during the week, during their presser, saying that this is a huge difference in the roster, that damn, we got some real difficult decisions to make this year compared to last year. And it does show. It does show in this team that they have a major difference in talent. JJ's going to see. Put that back up. I wanted to see that real quick. JJ's going to see a huge difference with Jimmy G. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. He's absolutely right on that one.
And more importantly, as big as that is, what you just said, you flip that around, and Jimmy G is going to see an even bigger difference with JJ being the guy that he's running the play action to. All that underneath stuff just opened up all of those clear outs, exactly. all those linebackers being held with play action. The whole entire offense has just changed.
Not just that, but the pass protection coming from out of the backfield.
All of that has changed for the better.
It just got 10 times better for the pass protection. I'm going to say that shit right now because Jimmy Garoppolo didn't have that with the. Now you getting Dylan Parham back. You going and put Van Rotten at guard. I'm gonna say this is gonna be the better protection that Jimmy Garoppolo has had in a long time. I'm gonna say that right now because he did not have that with the Niners. No matter what folks want to say about the Niners, this great offense and whatnot, it was always shielded and covered by that defense. Because when you actually look at it and you pay close attention to the details, the pressure was always coming from the A and B gap. Mm-hmm. And Jimmy was getting fucked up left and right. So again, having Jacobs back, getting the other two guards back, that's going to be a plus. And it's going to be an ease for Garoppolo because now you got a running back that can just do it all. And all you just got to do is play smart football.
And a little bit of defense. And let me tell you, from what we've seen from this defense thus far, from everything that we've heard, at least in the 20 range. They were 26th last year, I believe, and they have depth now. So even if they do get bit by the injury bug, we've seen guys that can come in and play the positions well. Turnovers, we're going to see a lot more turnovers. I don't know how the hell they drilled more turnovers or whatnot, but it's an almost a night and day difference in what you see with them doing this year versus last year. It's the same coach, or it is. So I guess they found the guys who finally bought into what he was selling, but they're attacking the football all the time. And the amount of time they spend attacking the football, they're going to get more opportunities for turnovers just because they're swinging the bat that much more. They're going to make contact, and get turnovers by accident. They say turnovers in bunches. I see it happening. Frequently, not just okay. We go 12 weeks and then we get 4 or 5. You're going to see a steady stream of at least maybe 1 to 2 per game, maybe 1 per game.
Right.
And if they don't convert it, you're going to at least see them getting their hands on the football. You're going to see balls getting popped out and having to be recovered by the offense. So the young guys are everybody's hungry from top to bottom. Max said it best. He don't work that hard to miss the playoffs every year. The old way of doing things, the old standard wasn't getting them anywhere. So it's time to take it to the next level and get to where they want to be. Top to bottom, we've now seen Jimmy. We've now seen the receivers. We've now seen the line. We've seen the defense. It's time. It's now time to basically this year's going to come down to coaching. I'm going to keep it solid with you at this point.
Yeah.
This season is going to come down to coaching. The players are there. The backups are there. The depth is there. You got stars across the board. Your roster is talented enough to compete with anyone in the league and beat anyone in the league. It's time to start taking it to Kansas City, to Los Angeles, to all of the teams that have been the bane of their existence, because the Raiders are here. There's not much more you can do to this roster to make it better.
No, you're absolutely right. The Raiders got to take it to Kansas City. They're supposed to win. They need to win. That's the first thing. Okay. Second thing is, yes, we do all this talk going back and forth like, oh yeah, I think we can. No, I need to see it. Coaching wise, don't overthink. Player wise, you got to play smart football to beat these teams. We know you can beat the Chargers. We know we can beat the Chargers. Yep. And I know they can do it back to back.
Yep.
You just got to stop doing stupid shit at the wrong time. That's been one of the problems with the Raiders. They would do stupid shit at the wrong fucking time.
Undisciplined
when you
situation.
Gotta lead by 6, or you got to lead by 7 or more, and it's in the third quarter. And that's the other thing. I'm going to say this shit. If you want to succeed in this league, do not take your foot off the gas pedal. I will say this again. If you want to succeed in this league, do not take your foot off the gas pedal. Kevin damn sure is right on that one.
Circus Raider, we don't need the chokers to beat themselves. We need to beat everyone. We need to beat the teams in front of us. The Raiders need to win. They need to earn their W's, and there's no reason why they can't. The
So
line is not a problem. The receivers are
mhm.
not a problem. You've got the best back in football. Your tight end group is deep and gonna come around nicely because Jimmy's gonna feed them in the right moments. Your quarterback situation is one where you've heard nothing but good things about all preseason, all training camp, and it's not just lip service, and it's not just when you look in their faces when they're talking about it, it's genuine.
It starts with the front four. It starts with your interior line. When you have those guys, your back seven is going to be fine, and that's that staple point that Patrick Graham looks for in his defense. If the edge can get to the quarterback, my interior D tackles can put the pressure inside to get to the quarterback. On the back seven, they're fine. Now, yeah, our back seven they got speed. That's all you need. You need to have some speed and guys to be able to swat the ball or pick it off. Now, the one thing I've been hearing so much is Robert Spillane has been getting better at his pass coverage. So, the one thing I'm looking at, I just want to see it start up with the front four first. I want to see that D line get to the quarterback. That's the one thing we haven't been able to see since, I really say, the 2021 season.
Mm-hmm.
We took a dip last year. And a handful of it does play into coaching. If you don't have the right coaching personnel to help guide a bunch of younger D linemen, then you're not going to have the success that you exactly want. You're just going to look like, what we did last year. And we can't have that again. I don't want just a quarterback hit. I really want us to get sacks. We get sacks, a team's going to feel that. They're going to start to realize this ain't the Raiders team that we were looking to play from last year that just fizzled out in the final minutes of a game.
Oh, not just the final minutes of the game, for whole halves at a time, for whole quarters, multiple quarter stretches where it all just fell apart. But to step in here and address DJ's point right here, yes, the back seven is finally something that you can work with. And I believe you're going to see a lot of sub packages. So you're going to see a lot of 5 DBs. Your DBs have gotten bigger. They've gotten faster. They all have a knack for keeping an eye on the football, finding the football, and getting to the receivers. It's going to be more of your underneath coverage. And as Jones said, Spillane has been getting better. You've seen an improvement and the way that they work together. And one of the articles that I published on the Ramble, I showed a video from QB school about Trey Lance, and what in it you get to look at all of the different angles of the Raiders defense and how they're moving in unison and some of the things that they're doing. And there's a lot to be, and if that's the vanilla version of this defense, then there's a lot of good things to come, because they finally have guys that can execute the assignments that need to be executed. So that's going to work out nicely. Cash Lord, dude, you seen Max Crosby for 6 plays. Come on, bro. Give me a break. So, and I'll say this real quick. Look, we're about to start the 2023 season. There is no one named Derek Carr on this team. Therefore, there will be nobody named Derek Carr mentioned on this podcast, unless by some chance, some strange stroke of luck, the Raiders and the Saints are playing in the Super Bowl. It's Jimmy's time now. Jimmy is it's Jimmy's Raiders. It's Aiden O'Connell's Raiders. It's Josh Jacobs' Raiders. It's Devontae Adams' Raiders. Max's, all that good stuff. We're going to keep it about the guys that we have on this 50, soon to be 53-man roster, which cut day is Tuesday.
Yeah.
So will the defense finally keep teams from scoring in the red zone? Well, they'll do a much better job of keeping teams out of the red zone. I can tell you that for sure. But it would be hard for them to not be better than giving up every single touchdown but one in the red zone, one or two.
All I gotta say, look, is just need to make sure we getting off the field 3 and out. 3 and out, not giving the big plays.
Never a doubt JJ would be back. All of this talk, and people are free to believe what they want to have their feelings, their opinions, and all types of stuff. But I mean, I've seen some of the most outlandish stuff this off season.
No, fuck that. I think the most outlandish shit was whoever ran around with that bullshit report saying that, oh yeah, Miami is trying to trade for Josh Jacobs.
Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith. If you were top quality running back, I thought they even gave OJ a tryout. I mean, Jesus, the way.
That's bitch. Oh my God, man. It was so many whack ass rumors. Just when whack ass rumors come out like that, that's because they don't know what the fuck is going on.
Mm-mm.
Like seriously. Like something that I feel now that a trade could potentially happen. It could be imminent. And then you don't even know who the hell this is coming from.
Like who? What?
Who's
not true? Like nobody's trading Josh J. Listen, we talk about what we know, and we don't tell you all of the things that we know, and we definitely don't divulge sources, but we talk to people who know things. That's the best that I could say. Who are educated people in this situations and circumstances that we talk about. This has been a point. This came as news to me recently that getting Jacobs in camp had become a priority, like the top priority. That it was causing fissures in some relationships. Now this crisis has been averted, and everyone is full steam 100% ahead with the goal of hoisting the Lombardi Trophy on their own field.
Yeah, and that would be fucking nice. But yeah, you got a lot of folks that love to cause drama.
Listen,
just
man,
so they can have just so they can have a story to keep going. And I'll be real. I mean, it keeps people interested. But the fact of the matter is, it's misinformation. Or they probably heard from One-Eye Willie, and One-Eye Willie heard from Jonathan the janitor. When Jonathan the janitor was up on the second floor of Ziegler's office, he heard the word trade and went on and dropped it back down to One-Eye Willie to the reporter and say, "Hey, I heard trade, so that means it's Josh Jacobs." Nah. I was probably there looking to do some trades for fantasy football.
And I got to tell you, I love Hondo's burner. That Rondo Carpenter is the real MVP. If you want some real inside information, Rondo Carpenter is the one who's lacing you up 24 hours ahead of time. So it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You got the nice Hondo, team-friendly Hondo, and then you got Rondo keeping it real. It's funny. Saints kicker will win fantasy football leagues this year. That's random, dude. This ain't the Saints podcast here, champ. We've already seen that one. As much as I'd love to see, I'm not gonna hold it against him. Fuck it. If he goes for 1,818 touchdowns, I'll shed a tear. I'll take a bow, and I'll say it right now. I want to see. Nah, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna do it. I want to put it into the atmosphere, but I'm just gonna hold off and take it a day at a time and not do that because I don't want anybody to be bringing this up and put me on the meme.
Yeah.
That Rondo account be killing me. Listen, it's all in good fun. I've seen there are troll accounts that are good trolling accounts that are at least funny and entertaining and catching people slipping. I don't have problems with that. But then there are other ones where it's like, come on, bro, you can't be serious. Are people really listening to this dude? So some of your favorite content creators are the greatest trolls around. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen dudes with more follower accounts than me talking about we're bringing in Jonathan Taylor, we're trading this guy, we're trading that guy. Also, we can keep some interest going and keep them viewers on YouTube so we can make that money. I just want wins too, Mr. Took Your Soul. That's all I want. I want to sit here and talk to you guys. I want to talk to my guy Phil here about what the Raiders are doing that's got them winning football games, winning divisions, banners, winning championships. We've been talking about losing for an awfully long time, and it's really not that fun. What up, Mike? Don't be a hater, bro. Don't be a hater. You was one of them who said that he needed to shape up or ship out, bro. I remember.
I think John's in good shape. He's been working out for what I've been hearing.
Of course he's been working out.
From the other horse.
We've been saying
from the other horse to the mouth, look. Mm-hmm. If he said he's been working out and we've seen he's been working out in a photo of him working out, motherfucker working out. Motherfucker in shape. All right. End of discussion.
He'll be ready. I figured he needed about 2 weeks to get ready, get acclimated, get hit a couple times, recover. And hopefully he's been working his yoga and his stretching exercises, because the one thing that would be a concern would be ligaments and pulls, because that's what you can't simulate. That's what you can't simulate at home without contact and quick cuts on grass. Hey, it's a beautiful thing. We're working on it, Kevin. We're working on it. I think it's probably because we don't have Rich over here throwing shade and hacking the feed. JJ, a big doggy. He's gonna be ready like Freddie. Yeah. Said it. Like I said, it's much to be happy about for all of the issues that we perceived to come up there before training camp. Jimmy's been healthy. Tyree got healthy. JJ got signed. Everybody's in camp. The guys that we're going to cut, even according to Kelly and Ziegler, the guys that we're cutting now, we're cutting good players. So we're getting
and the
better.
thing about it, we might try to trade some of those players. As much as some folks probably like, well, why are we going to trade them? Like, we might get low picks. You seen what Ziegler and Kelly been able to do out of those lower round draft picks.
Or stack up enough of them and you can trade and move up. I mean, they in their first outing of having a full having run the full gambit, they ended up with 12 draft picks, converted them into 9, and have out of all of the draft picks who said they got quality contributions, guys poised to make quality contributions. Let me say that and not get ahead of myself. But looking at what we've seen, they, even if they don't have to be starting and be the guys, they're going to be guys that come out and make an impact whenever they see the field. Yeah, he did kill that presser.
Yes, he did.
To those,
thank you for saying that, Andrew. Thank you.
To those who truly watch pressers, it makes you wonder what just exactly what's going on behind the scenes. Say, what is everybody's role? I saw something. Phil saw something, but we'll continue to evaluate it, as they would say. Your linebacking core is set, bro. Your linebackers are good.
Yeah.
You don't need a linebacker between Devine, between Spillane and Bolton. You have the makings of a quality linebacking core for this defense. Now, how would those guys be in a different defense remains to be seen. But from what they've been asked to do and what I've seen, those should be your guys. And then you got Drake Thomas, who's playing his way onto the field. Whether it's against 3s, 4s, 2s, or whoever it was that he was playing on, when you rack up 12 tackles, you tackling everything that's moving. That's Thomas. Easy work.
Yep. Whoo! Good God Almighty.
Boyd, no, I do not believe we are carrying 5 running backs for the season. Now, in all honesty, no. I wanted to select.
I think we go 3. I'm gonna just say it right here, and I don't mean to cut you off. We're going 3 running backs. I that's why, then including your fullback. That's where we're at. I think you end up going Jacobs, you go White, and you go Abdullah. I think the reason why they carried Williams was, okay, we're not too I don't think they were too sure at first about the whole situation. There was a sense of uncertainty with the situation of when they were going to get Josh back. So you need another guy. Now, Williams, I mean, could you add him on your practice squad? Possibility. But I think they go, most likely, I see them going 3 backs. There's confidence now in Zamir White from what you had last year. Again, I'm going to reiterate. His vision has gotten slightly better than what we saw from last year. Catching out the backfield has gotten better. His pass protection has gotten better compared to what we had saw and what people were stating about him when he was coming out. So, again, he's showing you that, okay, I can be a part of that 1-2 punch with Jacobs, and I can back him up. I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs to me. It shouldn't even have to be that. So guys like Brown, Bolden, even Williams, and Sincere McCormick, those are odd. No, I'm going to be real. Those are guys that could be the odd men out. And some folks say, well, why would you say keep Amir Abdullah? Amir Abdullah, you're seeing him on special teams for punt return, kickoff, and kickoff. He'll do it all for you.
Mm-hmm. And that's how he makes his teams. Because if you look at his stats aren't eye popping, but the way that he plays special teams has kept him employed in this league. And that's what's the difference. Because Damian Williams does not play special teams. Brandon Bolden doesn't play special teams. And if he does play special teams, he doesn't play as many or as well as Abdullah. And so, but that was in our 53 man episode that we did on Monday, I believe, when we were talking about that.
Yeah.
So do I think of Bernay and Drake Thomas make the final 53? Yes. Yes, I do.
Absolutely.
That's your 5. I don't believe they carry 6, so those would be your 5.
Matter of fact.
Now, I will about stopping the run. That is a genuine concern. And the sub package look that they have, they got good run defenders up the middle, but there's some edge work that needs to be ironed out. Max is still a pincher. Love him to death, but he is a pincher,
Yeah.
and he jumps inside and loses contain frequently.
Okay, so now I'm glad you said that. I'm glad your linebacker Spillane is who usually comes to clean that shit up. They had the same problem in Pittsburgh on their outside. So you know what they did? They used Spillane. He won't rush in head first. He'll stop and look and read the play, and he'll come out. He'll come out like you think that he's supposed to be coming inside. He'll readjust his lane he's supposed to run into.
His approach.
Take the outside gap. Yeah.
Okay.
So he'll make sure that shit gets cleaned up. Now, one thing I will say with Max, you can clean it up. Everybody was a little, like I said, folks were concerned last week when they saw like a couple of those big runs against the Rams. But again, there was no Byron Young. There was no Bilal Nichols. Who else were we missing? I don't even think we saw Jerry Tillery until probably about.
Now that was what was interesting to me, is that they switched
that.
They brought in your rotational guys to give them a look at the ones to see how they did, and then ran Tillery later on in that preseason game. But from all that I've heard, Tillery and Nichols appear to be lined up to be your top guys as of this moment. Now things can change, but that's what I've heard up to now.
And you know, I will say again, keep your eye on Adam Butler.
Yes,
I'm going to be real. He's going to make the roster.
I believe he will too.
He got folks that are talking about like, why don't we bring back a guy like Darius Philon? You look at Adam Butler, it's basically Darius Philon.
He's a little bigger.
Exactly. Bigger and stronger and a little bit faster.
And I'll do you one better. Jerry Tillery is the guy who sent Darius Philon packing and with the Chargers, and it appears that he's done it again with the Raiders.
Yeah. So when you look at this D line here, I mean, I think the Raiders are going to be set.
I believe so too.
I mean, look, I'm gonna be real, and you can throw Adam Butler in that lineup too.
This one right here.
This
one right here. You want to now, if you really want to get down to brass tacks and really talk about what's going to be the difference between getting from 6 to 12 wins, it's this right here. Said Kansas City's receivers don't do anything to us. Travis Kelce, on the other hand, can get 25 yards and score 4 times. Stopping the tight end has been an Achilles heel for the Raiders for the last 10 years strong, at least. I probably go back to 20, but it's definitely been for the last 10 to 15. And so that is what's really going to be when, if this is where what they're doing, that and undercutting crossing routes and then getting their hands on the ball, that's what's going to make the difference to bridge that gap, to take you from 6 to 10 to 12 wins. Thoughts on Dalton Wagner? He's probably going to end up on the practice squad. If he doesn't end up on the practice squad, he's going to be the last tackle on the roster. Tillery, Adam Butler, there's a bunch of crazy combinations that they can do. And really, when you look at the way they brought guys in and what they brought them in to address, they brought guys in to do specific jobs, specific tasks, run specific techniques against specific looks, and play and essentially match up football. And they've gotten more and more players capable of matching up with different things. And it's going to be a situation where they got a guy for everything and everybody.
Hey, but what was the one thing I told you?
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you?
Yeah. Yeah, you did. But what was the one thing I told you about the whole Jacob situation? And I quote, as long as Josh makes more than Barkley,
he
will be back.
He'll be back.
He will be with the team.
12 has got him in the range of the top 10. I think top 5.
Yeah.
I think just behind Chubb and Derrick Henry. But without taxes, and Nevada ends up getting the boost, and then the incentives will help as well. I'm gonna be real with you, dude. I don't even think I've seen Matthew Butler on the field.
He has been on the field, but his snaps have been
underwhelming.
Yeah, been really low. So I'll say this. But you're gonna see him probably a good handful in the second quarter tonight.
And yes, Raiders 66-27. This is the conversion chart that we should all be studying. Field goals to touchdowns. If we turn half of those field goals into touchdowns, we win a minimum of 10 games.
This guy gets it.
So this game against the Cowboys, we can get into this real quick before we get out of here because my laptop's about to die. Said honest. So here's the wrinkle. No, I'll say it now. Fuck it, I don't care. You should be looking to see your starters for about a quarter. They've been pushing. Your quarterback has been pushing for a half. I think he's going to get a quarter. And they are preaching to the guys, don't get hurt. Don't go out here. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try to do no extra shit. Get out here, get some work in, go through your motions, get your look, get off the field, and be ready to go for September 10th. You're going to see the rest of it is going to be your backups to give them an opportunity to showcase their abilities for this team and for their next team. Because as we all know, 37 guys will not be here on Tuesday. He's gonna make the practice. He's gonna make the practice squad. The whole international thing, I believe I'd need to check to verify. They probably have a special roster spot just for that. That doesn't count as a practice squad or the 53. I do believe that they got a spot for him. It would be silly to think that they were going to do all of this, go through all this trouble, and turn around and send him right back to his homeland. No, Neil Farrell is not being, and it's Farrell, Farrell, is not being slept on. I've been writing about it, how I've been watching. This dude looks like a beast.
Not even that. Hold up. First off, not even that. We go back to the off season. This man has something to show folks. He's going to make it known.
Mm-hmm. Said it. He looks good. Who he's played against, I don't know, but he looks good. He's getting pushed. He's flapjacking fools. It's on and cracking with Neil Farrell. I'm not sleeping on him. Big 92. Well, I know when he's out there because he's a big old hoss out there.
Yeah.
Bro. There's so many different things that I could say, take this and go with this, but I'm gonna try not to get myself canceled and be and be looking down upon my brothers from the homeland. But whatever it was that he's been out there doing, he can play the game of football. I don't know what the translation would be, but whatever it was, it worked. Now that's going to come down to how many guys they keep on the line.
Ooh.
If they keep 6, I believe he makes the team. If they keep 5, he will not.
Man, because even that was a hard decision when I did my my projected 50, man.
Yeah. That was a tough one. He was definitely solid, and I certainly liked what I seen from him. And if he makes the team, I'll be happy. If he doesn't, but it'll be, once again, like we said, if we're an example of having good players get cut. So that, especially on the defensive line, which is a complete 180 from what we've seen recently. But real quick, fellas, anything else before we get out of here? Minutes in the chat.
I'll say this for tonight's game. I go back to my list real quick.
Not gonna be able to see it till 10 on NFL Network.
Keep your eyes on Webb. On the cornerback, there's a little battle going on between the cornerbacks on the final spot. Keep your eyes on Robertson, Webb. What was it?
Hall,
Cosby. Hall, Cosby, yeah. And I even say David Long. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on it. Also, keep an eye on your linebacker situation between Thomas, Bolton, and Masterson. Yeah. Keep your eye on that.
Appreciate you. Who's our receivers on the 53? That is going. So your six, your five are good. Your sixth guy is going to be between Dorsett and Wilkerson, and currently Dorsett has the inside track of coach's preference.
Six.
Yeah, it really is hit stick stepper. It's already a dub with JJ signed. I can care less about what happens with this game, as long as everybody comes out of it healthy.
Yeah. Who says six?
Huh?
Who says 6 wide receivers?
No, I said who's six. I said the fiver said the six. The battle of the six guys going to become Dorsett or Wilkerson.
Boy, see 7.
I'll take 6 receivers if I can take 6 defensive tackles.
I mean,
now if we're getting in now, if
you
we're
get
going to
5
take
D. Best you're gonna get is 5 D tackles.
That's what I figured.
Because remember, you got some of your DN slide inside. Remember, Willis can play inside.
He's going to need to play the outside because up to we got some folks that not practicing, I'll say, and he may be getting a field promotion in the event that people aren't ready to go.
Now that's true. And we might not even go 3 quarterbacks.
I believe that they will.
So I explain it like this. You will have a third voice on the roster, but suiting up or added to that roster, you will not. It'll be like more of a Mr. Miyagi standing by your side. And to be honest, that's how I really feel that it should be going, where Hoyer's on the staff and helping out O'Farva, and we just don't see him in pads ever again.
And that wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing because it's a wrap for him. We've seen him in this offense, and it's not good. And it wasn't good for him last year. He's at that ability. He's at that level now, whereas Jeff Garcia would say he's hoping not to be exposed so that it won't inhibit his ability to continue to collect the check.
Yes, it's time to close the door on that little window. And it's official. Josh Jacobs.
Sign, baby.
Wearing number 8. He'll be wearing the number 8 jersey. He'll be signed for the 2023 season. And then let me do this most miraculous thing I need to do.
You. So as he goes through that, I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody here. Thank all the people that have showed up, glanced at us, supported us. Please like, subscribe, give us an unfiltered salute. Join. We're going to start putting out more and more content now that the season is getting ready to jump off. We're going to have our weekly conversations with Raiders digital reporter Levi Edwards. I'm looking to see if we can get some of your other favorite content providers, the fabulous Mostradamus, looking pretty soon here. But thank you again. Like I said, unfiltered salute. Hit that like button. Please subscribe. Join us. click on those announcements while we're still working on the schedule thing. Go, you got it up yet, Jones?
Weekend at Ziegler's is now open. I will be sending out invites to anyone who wants to join my fantasy football.
All right. With that being said, I'm Robinson. He's Jones. This is the Unfiltered Truth. And we are out.
This is one word, two syllables. Ridiculous, right?